Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, we go to let pop culture lair. Calm down and get your geek to geek at the Sci-Fi Center. We got almost everything a geek could want at the Sci-Fi Center. You name it, we got it. Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and everything in between at the Sci-Fi
Good morning. Happy Thursday, actually. I know it said Wednesday 7/3. I don't know why I put that there. Actually, no, what's the day? Today is Thursday. I don't think I can even edit that. Can I edit that? My days just run right into each other. They're all Mondays when you have this much going on. I don't think it'll let me edit it till after. Wait, will it? Maybe. There it goes. All right, how's everybody doing? Oh, that True Midnight Express, one that starts after midnight. You're on the ride. We're going to be here for a little bit, just answering questions. I think Brad's coming. I'm not sure. Yep, just nothing major happened today. I think we may watch some trailers. I did not see the Running Man trailer, and I think there's another trailer that came out that we were talking about. Yesterday was mainly talking about the career and life of a gym shooter, so we went into that a little bit. And also, don't forget, guys, if you would like to send William to Comic-Con in style in a few weeks and make it so that I can upgrade from a bologna sandwich with no bread to maybe a hamburger or two, here you go. You can click that link. Do not send super chats if you're wanting to do that. Go right, because like I said, super chats are cool, but by the time we get our super chats, Comic-Con will be over. So yeah, we won't get these super chats issued to us till August. So Comic-Con obviously will be over by then. So if you want to help me not have to by the way, you know what? Some of the best restaurants in San Diego, even if I do have to dumpster dive for some protein and all that, it's not going to be the worst. But do you want me doing that? Do you want your host doing that? I'm going to be bringing you coverage twice as much as we did last year. My plans got all disheveled last year because of a bed that almost killed me. Hall H doing a little bit, taking a little bit more out of us than we expected, and then just availabilities. Once you get down to Comic-Con, man, it is whatever plan you have does not survive Comic-Con unless you have a plan B, C, or D. So this year I have one of those. So I plan on getting the interviews that I go down there to get, and I actually plan on being able to upload those to you. So I'm going to try to do more live streaming from the convention floor. We had internet issues between AT&T and the internet that's at the con. It was bad. I couldn't do it. So I do want to do more actual live going on the floor and walking around. I want to do like about a half hour, just me walking around with you guys in the chat and answering questions and going where you guys want me to go. So, but like I said, hook me up. Con is not cheap. It's not cheap. Trauma is sponsoring our pass, but other things come right out of the old bottom line. So, hey, if you want me to provide coverage and not be like, my ribs showing and dying of thirst, drinking out of the puddles and stuff, click on the Stream Elements lab there, and you can tip anything. Now we do have a goal. I feel safe about not having to watch this horrid movie or its sequel because we are nowhere near the goal I set, and I don't think within the time that we have left we're going to get there. I set a goal by the end of the week at $400, and we would watch. I don't even know if watch is the word. We would endure Ace Ventura, and either Ace Ventura or Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, or I know the other idea we had is to do Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which would actually be a palate cleanser after watching Ace Ventura. But it doesn't look like we're going to get anywhere near that because, like I said, we are well short of that goal. So all these horrible movies you guys are always suggesting me for me to watch, doesn't sound like you really want me to watch them. So, hey, you know what? We'll figure it out. Hello, Brad.
Yeah. Oh, and that now you were what you were just referring to, the timeless comedy classic you were referring to, Ace Ventura. But you know this right here,
absolute
the year of Jim Carrey's breakout when he had back to back hits of Ace Ventura, and The Mask and Dumb and Dumber. That his career inarguably would be nowhere near what it is today without those
garbage.
Three timeless comedy classics.
What you're witnessing here is why he can't get real roles. What you're witnessing here is what
you're witnessing. This moment right here made Jim Carrey a millionaire.
When you you can make millions a whole bunch of different ways. What you're looking at right here is why Hollywood producers.
You made people laugh. You made people laugh by doing it.
Robin Williams made people laugh too, but he didn't do buffoonery for the entirety of his career. So there you go.
Look at this again. It's like this. It's I mean, just the hilarity that the man can just like, as they said in The Simpsons, he can just make you laugh by just a crazy feeling of his limbs.
I don't. When I see that, I'm not laughing. When I see that, I see
hysterically.
I see, especially if that's all he had ever done, I would have just dismissed him. I would have never even thought twice about Jim Carrey. But having seen him in actual movies with substance in them, it's like I said, the only word I can use is tragic. It's tragic that he didn't get more roles, or he doesn't get more roles like that, and this is why. It's
tragic we didn't get Ace Ventura 3, 4, 5, and 6.
No, that's tragic that we got any of those.
It's just the real tragedy. He could have been coming out of like a whale's ass in 3.
Absolute trash. Hey, Braden, that's fine. If you think that, I'm not here to change your mind. I think it's garbage. But all films are subjective. I by no means could I utter
again
that
his
movie.
Breakout year, 3
so
comedy hits. Math is defeated.
Robin Williams broke out. There's a lot of people who actually had real roles that did comedy and may have broken out through comedy. Robin Williams' first movie was Popeye, I think it was. Look how he turned out. Because he got other roles. He went out and got people, and he did it at a time in his career when it wasn't too late. He wasn't so typecasted to the point where there are probably some really excellent roles out there that Jim Carrey would never got even considered for because of the kind of.
He wouldn't have got considered for anything if he hadn't like broken out in '94.
That doesn't matter, dude. You got to realize what you broke into doesn't mean that's what you stay at. That's one dimensional. That's kind of shitty, actually.
The world needs laughter, and Jim Carrey gave us no shortage of it.
So what? But that's fine. So that's it. He has a one-dimensional career. That's all he's capable of.
No.
Are you selling him that short?
Like how?
So he's not a good enough actor. Hold on. He's not a good enough actor to do other movies.
No one else could have played Ace Ventura.
So what? That's the past.
No one else could have played Lloyd Christmas.
Who the fuck cares?
We would have these comedy classic characters the world would never have gotten without Jim Carrey.
So what? So fucking what?
We would have been deprived of so much laughter.
big fucking deal. They got them, but where are his other roles?
If he had done nothing but Ace Ventura movies, it's like that the world would have been
That's a goddamn
peaceful.
shame. That is a absolute fucking shame if that would have ever. Thank God that he did real movies. Thank God.
And these days, it's like he's doing nothing but like Dr. Robotnik.
And that, I mean, like I said, can he get anything else? And that's a legit question.
But is he content with Dr. Robotnik doing nothing else?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the man, but I can't believe that you would do an acting career and at the end of it you just be considered one thing. I don't think that's funny at all.
I mean, is it a bad thing to be considered the funniest man to ever live?
It depends on what you want to do. Otherwise, he doesn't do these other movies. He doesn't do Eternal Sunshine. He doesning do Truman Show.
So William just admitted he could never have gotten Eternal Sunshine with Ace Ventura.
No, but he obviously had a desire to be something more than just a fucking clown.
Ergo, it's like the world would not have gotten.
All right, this conversation is going anywhere. You are not going to justify Ace fucking Ventura on my screen. That is just not happening. The movie's too stupid. We're not doing that. I would give you time somewhere else on the screen by yourself. If you want to defend Ace Ventura, you can do so without me on the screen because I cannot stomach that fucking movie. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, what is it like?
Well, for me,
about a week. Yeah,
it's less than a week. It's 4 days for me.
Yeah, depending on when you're seeing it. It's 4 days to a week. Yeah.
Today is the 3rd. Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, like I said, I'm not. If something happens in the movie never happened, I got Fantastic Four. I'm just as fine. I mean, I'm not. Now, if Fantastic Four doesn't happen, I got a problem. But I mean, I'm on the ride. I'm ready. I'm open to it. So no, I'm ready.
Let's see. Over Chappie here. Did you see the Cat in the Hat trailer? Anime trailer looks terrible. Well,
nope.
I know it's out there. I haven't seen it, and there's no way the space-time continuum could still be intact if it's worse than that 2003 movie. So I'll have to give it a look. But no, even if it's terrible, it's still better than the one we got the first time. People talk about Ironheart. I have not given a look to Ironheart.
I haven't had a time. I will hit it this
honestly, I've just been kind of indifferent to it. The character just didn't really resonate much with me.
Well, like I said, it was one of those things in Black Panther Wakanda Forever that I'm like, I mean, this is all distracting me for T'Challa not being there. Well, and how much money do I have to pay you for a watch party for Superman 3? About $100.
Like for both of them, or like individually?
Nah, I'd do it for 100 for even on that event. Well, I'm a real one for hiring homeless on movie sets.
No, Williams. No, I think he's talking about Robin Williams.
Oh, okay. I'm not, dude. I don't hire any. I'm not hiring. Superman 3 Custard Piece are the most. Yeah, those are horrible movies.
I always maintain 3 is far worse than 4. 3 is the worst.
It's a tie for me.
Here's the thing. Here's one of the deciding factors in that for me. It's like every Superman, and I would imagine this would also hold true for the Superman movie that's going to be released next week, is that look at every Superman movie before and after Superman 3. One thing we can all agree about, whatever you think of any of them, one thing we can all agree upon is they all are focused on Superman himself. That is not the case with Superman 3. Superman 3 is a Richard Pryor sketch, sitcom, and a bad one at that Superman guest stars in.
At that point in the 80s, Superman wasn't marketable. Richard Pryor was. I mean, I'm not condoning it, but it's that's why they did it. I call it buffoonery, Jim. I mean, you know what? Like I said, I love the interview and ask him,
your buffoonery.
Do you regret being typecasted? Do you regret not being taken seriously as a serious actor because of all the other movies? I'm just curious.
Aaron says, I would love to see Jim Carrey in an action martial. Oh, yes, I definitely would too. We kind of got that a little bit when some of his segments on In Living Color, because he did the one where he was parodying Kung Fu, and then he did the one where he's the martial arts instructor. Where he's
are you saying serious
Kung
Fu movie or bullshit from In Living Color?
Well, no, the one I want to talk about in Living Color, because it was a Living Color. It's a sketch comedy, so it was the segment was a spoof of the show Kung Fu, where it's like the whole thing about like snatch the pebble from my hand and and all that from Kung Fu, and then there was another one he did where he's kind of like this really wacky karate instructor. But yeah, he would do pretty awesome in a comedic.
I couldn't tell you. Oh, did you say comedic or actual movie?
You know what? I just thought like pairing with Jackie Chan. That would have been. They could have done something pretty awesome. I think
that would have been a joke.
No, that would have been a Rush Hour. I don't have I don't hate them by any means. I do like the first one, but I don't have as much esteem for the Rush Hour movies as a lot of other people do.
All right, well, enough of the Jim Carrey thing.
We're believing Mark Strong was wasted. Perfect. Oh, he was phenomenal. Sinestro casting.
I mean, he's even a good casting. It's hard to really regard him because it's a bad movie. And whenever you think of that Sinestro, you can't just. It's hard to isolate just how bad that movie was.
Well, do you think he was better as Sinestro or as Dr. Savannah?
Dr. Savannah, because that was a better movie. It's really hard when you're in a bad movie.
I kind of split the difference where it's like I do rate his Sinestro slightly higher because he was just that good as Sinestro. His Savannah's still really good, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, Shazam is the better movie.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the role. I mean, when I'm watching a bad movie, it's really hard for me to get into a role. And Green Lantern was a bad movie, in my opinion. All right. So, let me go watch this trailer because, like I said, I'm not really focused on the Running Man.
Oh yeah, the Running Man trailer. Yeah, because again, this will be a first viewing for me.
I have no, I don't have any real plans to rush out and see it.
And again,
I'm not going to avoid it either. So.
It's going to be released the same day as Predator Badlands.
It's not going to matter. One of those movies I'm not seeing, and I can't see. I mean, yeah, it's the same demographic, somewhat, but I can't see it being an overlapping one to where it's like, oh wow, tough decision. Predator Badlands or Running Man. I can see Running Man anytime. Running Man will be on streaming in 45 days. Predator Badlands is actually something I want to see. It's Paramount. I'll definitely be promoting this one.
You pulling up?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. I'm just taking a cut.
Real quick from I think this is the first time seeing Mr. Ryan Armstrong in the chat. So, welcome to Sci-Fi Center, sir. Superman and Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman, The Adventures of Superman stars George Reeves. Which Superman TV show you like the best and the worst? For my money, Superman and Lois is the best Superman. Not only the best Superman TV show, the best DC show, live action or animated.
It's not even in my
bar none, no contest. Yeah, Superman and Lois. Yeah. On every level, just slays it in my.
For me, it's a good show, but it wasn't good the first 2 years. I can't put a show that was only good half of its existence in the top 5. That's just for me. Superman and Lois and Clark, I never really got connected with that. These are all bad choices for me. The New Adventures of Superman, no.
Adventures of Superman starring George Reeves. I've only seen like a handful anyway, but I don't mean I've seen enough to know I wouldn't rank it. All that. It's definitely a product of its time too.
All of these are products of their times, though. See, I mean, George Reeves was good for the 50s and in the 60s, so I can't really put it up against these other ones. The New Adventures of Superman, I barely watched. That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to get back to you. Like I said, I would if I eliminate seasons 1 and 2, then I could put Superman and Lois. But if I'm being truthful and include seasons 1 and 2, I can't. I can't put that because you're talking about a show that had a full run and it was really only good for half of it.
Best Superman show ever, guys. That's
according to Brad. But if you're asking me and Brad gave you his answer. But,
the closest competitor in my book is Superman shows for me is Superman the animated series.
Okay, now we're talking cartoons. So
it's a Superman show.
Okay, when you guys ask me, Ryan, thanks for coming in. I only talk in live action. There are hundreds and thousands of other streams that talk cartoon. I don't talk cartoon. When you're asking me that question, unless you actually preference it and say, including animation, I don't watch a lot of Superman animation anymore. I watched those shows when they came out, Superman animated series, but that was it. But when I'm giving you my answer, it's strictly live action. So yeah, these are tough because all of them have issues. as far as a full run, I'm gonna go with the George Reeves, even though it's antiquated. It was consistently what it was for what it presented in its entirety. All these other shows have huge flaws to them.
For my mind, it's like the the mythos is really the diving into the mythos of the title character also is really a kind of a deciding factor, and Superman Lois is the one, again, live action just is the one that just inarguably does that the deepest and the most thoroughly.
But they also made really poor decisions too that never really went away. Even when the quality of the show went away, they made some really poor story decisions that I think I could never put that show. Now, as far as best DC, it may not even be in my top 10. Even as much as I enjoyed the last 2 seasons, you can't take 2 years to get to good and have it, be in that top tier for me. So that's my answer. So, all right, what else we got? I got to be.
Yeah, no, and also Aaron. Yeah, she's much more a big fan of Lois and Clark. Which again, it's like, yeah, I watched it here and there as a kid, and it's also it's not even like a quality thing with it. It's more just and it might even be just like the age that that I was when it started, because
that's a lot to it too. By the way, that's a lot of
Well, because it was definitely presented as a very adult, and this makes it sound like a porn when I describe it this way, a very adult oriented TV, in the sense that it was really centered. There's a reason why it's called Lois and Clark first and Superman after that, because the focal point very much was the romance of Lois and Clark, and
which
it was a Lois and Clark show first, Superman show second. It's not there's anything like fundamentally wrong with that. It's just that
I didn't care about the kids. It's
but just because I was a little kid when that was airing, so that I was just less predisposed to get although it is kind of weird because Erin's only a year younger than I am, and she is my baby sister, so
she's not.
I
don't know what I can do, guys, about Brad being creepy. I'm trying, but he's just
so when I say that, it's like I was the wrong age, but Erin was, again, only a year my junior, and she was really enamored with it. So but maybe that's just like a thing that's specific to me, is again what the focal point was. Again, that's not a problem with the show. It's just that approach, just for whatever reason, just didn't grab me as much as I might need revisit the show as an adult to kind of see, okay, does this resonate with me more now, as an adult. So,
and with the exception of George Reeves, I saw all these shows as adults. So, I mean, maybe they were trying to appeal to kids in some of these, and
George Reeves was really, and that's the other thing about it too. When I talk about the mythos being when I talk about a comic book show being not just a comic show, but also a comic book movie, the backstory and the mythos of the characters, like how thoroughly it mines that or pulls from that. The George Reeves show, and again, it's the fact that they're from the 50s. There's a lot of things they couldn't do in live action with the Superman show in the 50s. I mean, they couldn't have General Zod on there. They couldn't have Darkseid. They couldn't have the Justice League on there. So there's a lot of elements, core elements of Superman.
Well, Darkseid didn't exist during the George Reeves era.
No, really? Because that was the 50s, right? Yeah.
The Darkseid wasn't created until the 70s.
Oh, okay. Well, if he had, oh god, they couldn't have done him on the show anyway during that time.
Yeah, it would have been cheesy, but it is what it is. So but as far as worst goes, yeah, I don't want to say any of them are worse. There's ones that I would just stay away from. I guess.
Yeah, I don't think anything. I don't think there's been any Superman TV show I thought was bad.
I don't watch that My Adventures of Superman that was on the Cartoon Network. I don't watch that because I couldn't watch it. The animation style took me out of it. Just if I'm watching something in the animation style, if I do watch animation, if the animation style, I could not stand the way that show looked.
And see, yeah, so that's very much, again, it's exactly what pulled me in. And that show also, that's another example of as far as a series that really just just pulled from like every corner of Superman, mythos and comic book lore. I mean, it had so many villains, so many characters, so many. What it was in my mind, like you have Superman and Lois. Yes, I will say Smallville too, and Superman.
Worst show. I'm sorry, I do have a worst show. Smallville. There you go. I'm sorry.
So William has just said he's going to let me take over the show in perpetuity.
Yeah, I think that show is trash. If you watch it, but it's not even a Superman show, so technically it doesn't count.
So the shows that pull the most from the Superman mythos, those are the three I listed.
Sure.
And again,
all right, let's do. We've run on us too long. I don't have enough regard for any of those shows for them to take as much time.
No, let me go about this. You know what it is, Brad? You might not have clicked with Lois and Clark, because that's probably part of it too, because it does have Aaron's got much more of a
Superman and Lois wasn't. Whatever.
Well, and see here, and the thing is, Aaron is also, I definitely, was of course an avid follower of all my children, but my mom had it on all the time when I was a kid, and I had that in the background too, and that's like the epitome of soap operas. That definitely was not for me as an 8-year-old, so that I definitely that kind of set the template for what my 8-year-old brain thought of. Like, so if you're telling me like, oh, this Lois and Clark is like, it's a soap opera with DC characters, like if you told me that at that age, I was like, well, then you found a way to kind of, I would have like not even like seen a single episode, but I did watch periodically, but again, it just didn't pull me in like anything else, like Superman. Really, it's really the only Superman show or movie, like anything live action, that just didn't from the jump like pull me in like immediately. And again, you're probably right, that probably played a role in that.
No, we're not even close. We're about $40 in, and then Brad confused everybody last night, so that kind of stalled us.
How did I confuse everybody by telling
stupid Jim Carrey thing that you did
the whole thing about it launched his career? I mean, did it not?
No, we're not close, Larry. So yeah, let's get on the ball, guys. Hook me up. Send me to Comic-Con to report on. This is going to be a lot to report on. I'm going to be everywhere. The one thing I probably will not be doing is sleeping, because there's a lot of
I'm telling I that last night before you get on the plane and come back home, I'm telling you, man, I'm wondering, like, is it going to be a because again, you look damn near dead.
We're not going to do that. Now we're going to be tired, but I'm not going to do a 36-hour stretch. I mean, on unexpected, So yeah, it's going to be a little bit more fun. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Paramount they had it last year, but they have their little Paramount hut where all things Paramount are featured. There's going to be a Thunderbolts. They have a Thunderbolts somewhere downtown San Diego. They have a Thunderbolts van or whatever, where they're going to be characters of some Thunderbolts are going to be serving you ice cream. There's all kinds of things around. There are going to be people that are wandering downtown the Gaslamp District that are not going to be inside the San Diego Convention Center, but there's so much stuff to do. I just got a list from a website that covers everything. There is so much stuff to do that, like I always say, when you go to these things, time is your most expensive commodity, because if you're somewhere, you can't be somewhere else. And there's going to be we only have 4 days, and the 4 days goes by really quick, especially when you're talking about Hall H situation, because how hectic that line is.
And I'm really curious, now that we're knowing that Predator Badlands is going to have a Hall H presence, like, are they going to have, like,
I don't know if they have a Hall H presence, or if they're going to, like, the Saturday promotion, or are they going to have a one like the Deadpool and Wolverine did on Thursday?
I'm really curious to, like, because then somebody from Sci-Fi Center will have, in this scenario, seen the movie. Really curious about that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to show the movie.
Well, I mean, again, but it's not unreal. It's not out of the realm of possibility they could, because they
it isn't, but it's so far away. We're talking November. They don't do that at Comic-Con. They did Deadpool versus Wolverine because it was the same day. It was literally getting released that night. Like me, Ray, and Phil, literally, because we weren't getting in there, we went to go see it at a theater that night. But Predator Badlands, I think, is November.
Yeah, but they have done that with they did that. I think, like, with Scott Pilgrim, they did that with Dredd, they did that with
far ahead. No, those movies. Yeah, I don't think they did those movies that early. If so, very rare. If they were to do it, that means I don't know what that tells you about the movie for them to do it that early. You know, what are you trying to build up? But that's 5 months away, man. I don't think they would. They're some of the stuff is probably it's going to be in post production up until like October maybe. So I don't know. I mean, could be wrong. I mean, very pleasantly surprised if they show it, but I highly doubt. That's so far away, and they're still working on that movie.
Here's from the this is like Scott Pilgrim specifically from Wikipedia. Yeah, Scott Pilgrim versus the World panel was featured in Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con on July 22nd, 2010. After the panel, Edgar Wright invited selected members of the audience for a screen. Now, selected members of the audience for a screening of the film, which was followed by a performance of Black Sheep by Metric. And it was then shown at Fantasia Festival in Montreal on July 27th, 2010. And the movie itself was released. Let me look this up here on. Okay, so they're not huge gap. It was released August 13th, and then
that's literally the next month. That's literally that's literally the next week and a half later. So I doubt it with 5 months. I would be pleasantly surprised, but when you're showing a movie like that, Scott Pilgrim, the movie's done. There's no post production. I'm gonna think that Predator right now, as we speak, Predator Badlands is going to be in post production until it's time to release. I mean, so I don't think it's going to be locked until October. So I doubt we're going to see. We might see a trailer. We might see some scenes that are done, and those scenes wouldn't look like they would in the movies. But yeah, I doubt. I think we're going to get a presentation, just like Alien Romulus did. Alien Romulus didn't get released until after Comic-Con, and that's all you got were scenes, and the cast was there, and they gave away facehuggers. So I doubt it. Superman animated series theme is so good. It gives me Danny Elfman and John Williams vibe. Also, Superman and Batman animated show or perfectly crafted. I thought the Superman animated show was okay. Like I said, I'm not going to get into what I think about the Batman animated series. It's documented. But yeah, I am looking at this age. I'm looking for Superman to show me things that I have not seen in a Superman format and still make it recognizable as Superman. That's the challenge that each person that does Superman. I'm not big into the nostalgia thing. I want you to dive into this character and wow me, into being like, wow, I never looked at Superman that way before, but that's consistent with Superman. That's my challenge to anybody who does this. I hope James Gunn is doing this because, like I said, the last thing I want to do is sit through my childhood. I'm not a child anymore. So I don't want things that harken back to 6-year-old me. I want things that harken to 50-year-old me and from beyond. That's what I want to see. That's what entertains me. I have all that stuff on physical media. If I want to watch Superman 2, I have it on physical media. It's on HBO Max. If I want to relive how I felt when I watched the cartoon, I can YouTube it. If I want to relive Superfans, it's on YouTube for free. But when I enter a cinematic experience right now, I just want to see that creator do something that I've never seen, especially with a superhero movie, because it's easy to fall into the same tropes that every other superhero movie has done. That's what I find special. That's what I found special about Man of Steel. Nobody had ever done it that way. Nobody had ever focused on the alien nature of Superman the same in the way that Zack Snyder did. Nobody had done that, and that's what made that special. So I'm kind of looking for something special in next week when I go see this one. All right, let's check on our. Wow, that background noise is, and the audience, you can't hear that, right? You can't hear the static from Brad's end that he just muted, right? It's just between me and him on StreamYard.
Yeah, it's got to be a StreamYard thing.
I got to get with those guys. Don't like to return emails, but man, it's really hard for me because I'm trying to focus, and it's like feedback, and you guys can't hear, which is the most important thing. But man, it's my little brain can't take it. All right, yeah, it does not look like we are going. I'm going to have to suffer. Good news is I don't have to suffer.
Which is the terrible news, by the way.
Yeah, Ace Ventura.
This comedy classic that
it's not a classic.
That launched Jim Carrey. It's like he would not have risen to the heights that he did without Ace Ventura. That is,
bottom line is we are not at the pace we're going. It's a moot point. It's a moot point. So we'll have to move the goalposts and see if we can at least get me maybe some gas station sushi. I don't know. at the rate we're going right now. So, oh well, yeah, it's a thing.
What's creepy? I'm just pointing with Aaron, the whole thing. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Dad jokes, the bad jokes.
We look alike. We're into the same stuff. We're a year apart in age. It's like we don't even need a DNA test.
Smallville for me was unappealing when I tried to watch it. And then, like I said, it broke me when it's like, okay, what are you doing in Smallville? You're a Superman, grown-ass man. What are you doing here? Now, I felt myself saying that every week, and I'm like, Adventure Comics found a way for 30 years to tell Superboy stories with his own thing, with Legion of Superheroes, without ever bringing in anybody from Metropolis level. But these guys couldn't do it.
What's the problem with that?
What do you mean?
Because you said that a lot of times. Like he interacts with characters that he traditionally comics wise doesn't interact with until he's like actually,
because when he's in Smallville, the whole point of him being in Smallville is that he's not Superman and he's not in Metropolis.
I want to see the show do things. I can watch. I can read that. I got the comics over here. It's like I can read nostalgia or watch nostalgia anywhere. I want the show to do different things.
That show, wow! Like I said,
did it not do different things?
Yeah, none of them good, but sure.
Are we gonna watch the trailer?
Yeah, you distracted me again. Where are we? Get this going. Sure. Like I said, I don't know when I'm going to go see this movie, but I mean, I'm not running away from it. I'm just not running to it right now. I just got so much shit going on.
Running away from the discussion about it. That's for damn sure. Oh, whatever. Sorry, you're talking about Superman. No, no, we're talking Running Man. So that I don't mind.
What were you talking? Running on discussion of what? What were you talking about?
I thought you were talking about Superman. It's like I'm running the discussion from that. No, Running Man discussion will probably be pretty level there.
Filming me!
Ben Richards, 35, married, one child, in medical crisis.
We need money for a doctor now.
Ben, watch yourself.
Employment status, blacklisted. But there's still a way out for you. It's the biggest show in the country.
Bloodlust is our birthright! Set it free! Welcome to the Running Man!
People on these games never come back.
I'm not trying to get myself killed, so kiss my ass twice.
Right there is why you can win this game. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days with the entire nation hunting you down. And get your family out of Slumside for good.
I'm gonna come back here and burn this building down. I promise.
That's the spirit.
This is America, goddammit! And we don't put up with no bullshit! Yeah! Hunt!
Actually, based on the novel by Richard Bachman, FYI.
Stop filming me!
Have you ever wondered if this game is rigged?
Guess we'll find out.
You might be moving up too fast. Hey, buddy. You're on Freebie. Yeah! You better run! I got a grenade!
Back at you.
I'm still here, you shit eaters. Hey, big boys!
Are you crazy?
That looks like fun. She looks
Yeah,
like
it does.
I mean, I don't like I said, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like an upgrade to the Arnold. That was fun back in I think it was the 80s when that was done, but that was
Yeah,
Richard Dawson.
when that was Arnold in his heyday, yeah.
Yeah, but this looks much better, and obviously Glenn Powell's a much better actor than Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it looks like it's taking place like because the Running Man takes place in that little compound. This is all over the place, so I mean, I guess you'd have to do it that way with social media. Looks like a lot of fun. Looks like a lot. And I like Glenn Powell, so
yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And you know what the interesting thing about it is too, like Running Man, it's like it's. I never really got into the Hunger Games during its heyday, and like Running Man is probably like a version of kind of that template that probably is a little bit more my speed. So, yeah, probably Running Man is probably like closer, but saying like what I would say is like kind of like my Hunger Games probably would be like Running Man.
I haven't watched more than 5 minutes of the entire Hunger Games franchise. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you this: if you watch the original, like it all looks like this is the camera work.
And I got a bunch of shit from
the first one is you might as well call it Shaky Cam the movie.
Yeah, Mockingjay. I got all kinds of pins and buttons from that movie. Prince was probably the best Jim Carrey movie I've seen.
Prince? I need a refresher on that. Look up his body of work real quick.
Yeah, that's one of its issues. 10 years of that, but hey, and 10 years on a channel that wasn't drawing any eyeballs, outside of that. And what was it? What's that show? Supernatural stayed on for like what? Entire
15,
like
16 years.
And they could have continued. The only reason that show went off the air is because other people.
It lasted long enough for like people to be born and graduate from high school during the entire
that were
run.
probably conceived while they were watching that show.
Oh, you said you meant to say Grinch, not Prince.
Oh, jeez.
Well, Grinch is way better than the Cat in the Hat.
When did you do it, Larry? Because I'm refreshing right now. I'm still at 40. You sent it to this link, right, Larry? No, I got yours yesterday. I got yours yesterday when it's just your name. Yeah, well, you didn't type anything. So no, I haven't gotten your other one, and you used the same link you did yesterday. So hopefully we're not having any issues with that. I'll keep looking. I said for me, it's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, hands down. Not even close. Not even.
Mine actually is not Ace Ventura, although it's definitely other. My number one with Jim Carrey is the undisputed funniest movie ever made, Liar Liar.
I had the button ready because whatever movie you were going to say that wasn't the Truman Show,
I need to
that wasn't that. No, because I don't feel like getting cut down for something that's not worth it. If I knew you were going, if it wasn't Truman Show, if it wasn't Eternal Sunshine, it wasn't 23, it was going to be some bullshit. So that's why it allowed me to have the
pen is blue. The pen is blue.
I mean, I was ready as soon as you were gearing up.
But Pop Quiz here. I remember I showed the picture of the guy I ran into at Tampa Comic Con who was cosplayed as Jim Carrey, like running the pen is blue all over his face. Has you ever seen any Eternal Sunshine Jim Carrey cosplay? I rest my case.
I can't even mouth the words to say how ridiculous.
Have you seen any Jim Carrey cosplay from Eternal Sunshine?
What?
You've seen it from Liar Liar. When it's cosplayable.
Because in order to do cosplay, you have to actually look like something ridiculous.
When it's cosplayable.
So what about how is Joel from Eternal Sunshine cosplay? Just stop it. You're not gonna. You keep.
I didn't think Liar Liar was cosplayable, but the guy got it.
Oh, whatever. All right, back to. Let me see if I can find some meaningful comments to distract me from your existence right now.
Oh, here's an interesting one. Hello, William and Brad. To prepare, and by the way, you can't distract my existence because I'm part of it. Preparing to get ready for the Superman movie, I have edited all the Creature Commando episodes into one feature-length film that is 2 hours 25 minutes long. Okay, that was good, man. That show really, it started off pretty strong for me, and then it goes off a cliff after the second half. Like the second half is really, really weak.
I thought the first half was bad. I didn't think it went off a cliff for me. I enjoyed the show.
It did not stick the landing at all in the ending.
William, after the trailer viewing, I sent you that AEW Superman clip. Let's see, Aaron. Okay. Oh, Kenny Omega. I can't get a. Hold on. Let me. I got it. Oh, I'll show that. Screen Twitter. All right. I don't have a good graphic one because this looks like it was pulled, but here we go. Oops, sorry.
Call me crazy, but I feel like I can really fly with this cape.
Told you, and I feel like a real champion with this.
Wait, they gave you a belt. I didn't get a belt.
Well, they only give belts to heroes.
They gave you a cape? Yeah, they only give capes to champions. Yeah, champions are being a poor schmuck. Whew.
Son, you're rude. I like you.
Roasted them.
Don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th.
I mean, like I said, regardless to what I may end up thinking about this movie, that is what I want to see DC doing from now on for everything.
I'm telling that movie suit is going to be a real.
I've given up on trying to connect. I don't like the suit. I don't like the suit. What I've done with the Superman is once I've stated, I'm not going to state it anymore. You guys can go watch previous streams. What I hate that suit. I have reasons to hate the S. I love the S, but somewhere else.
Yeah, well, here I got a reason for it. It's like the last 2 live action suits I saw were better, like way better.
Even if I just exclude those, right? Even if I just judge this one on its own, I don't like the texture. I don't like the structure. I don't like the collar. I don't like the cape line. I don't like that particular S on him. Unless you're doing a Kingdom Come story, I don't like the hue of it. I don't like anything about it. And then I tried, but once again, I don't hate it enough. It won't stop me from enjoying the movie if I enjoy the movie.
I mean, that's for me when it comes to superhero movies. I mean, the suit really. That's just such an essential element to the.
There's been some really ridiculous ones that did not look good on comic book movies that didn't hurt the movie for me. And like I said, it only has to do for the general public, which is going to be the majority of people who make or break this movie, is that recognizable as Superman? And to me, the clear answer is yes. Now, is it my preferred costume? Oh no, I don't like it, but it serves its purpose, and that's where I'll leave it. But thank you, Aaron.
It's going to be a real 2 hours. That suit is really going to.
Because if the suit was exactly how I envisioned it, and the movie sucks, is the costume going to really matter? Yes. If it's an awesome costume that looks exactly like the one in my head, and then the movie sucks, is that going to matter? So I kind of just flip that on its edge and be like, okay, well,
yeah, but if the movie's awesome, but the costume sucks, it's like that takes the movie down a peg.
Not enough to me, because in the motion while I'm watching the movie, I'll be able to put that if there's fast action going, if the choreography, the not the choreography, the cinematography, like that Top Gun type jet flying.
Well, even that's like been hit and miss in what we've seen.
Well, it's been in a trailer, but it's good enough for me to be like, okay, I'm ready. Once again, it comes down to I just got to go see the movie. I'm 4 days away from seeing this movie, and putting it behind me. To be honest with you, for better or for worse. No matter how I feel about this movie, this month was always about Fantastic Four. It was always about Fantastic Four. You know, no matter how I feel about the DCU universe, the DCU is always about getting to Lanterns. Superman is the process for me to get to Damon Lindelof and Tom King and all the people that are going to be bringing me Lanterns. This is part of the process. This is step one into the other things I want to see. And if I like it, wonderful, great, cool. But if I don't like it, it's not going to sink the universe for me again. And like I said, because I looked at the slate he's being put out, and I just saw it from right there and then. There are going to be certain things that I'm going to gravitate towards more than others. So I'm good with it. I just want to get it passed so I can get all these discussions and all these disingenuous people rooting for the movie like it's their sports team. You're not rooting for a movie, but you're rooting against someone, or people rooting against the movie because they still got the ghosts in their heads from 10, 15 years ago. I'm ready to be past those people. I'm ready to start talking comic book movies about people who are actually going to see the movie because they're interested and they actually truly enjoy it. And I'm finding, that to be a hit or miss prospect when it comes to Superman, unfortunately. Let's see. Let's see. Thank you. I could go the rest of my existence without it. I mean, people are telling me, "Well, it'll be better than the last one." That's a low bar, guys.
Again, guys. Bar. Timo, Shadow Strays, Night Comes for Us.
I saw that
in arguably that endorsement.
I saw that for free, and I want my money back.
But it's the 95 one is like that alone. It's like it just sets the template for like what I want out of this. It's like it was a Hong Kong action movie in 95 based on a video game. Do that, give me that, and give me what I got from the beginning and the end of 21. And it's like Timo back in it, and now who else? You know who's back in it? You know who's back at this now? Who was
don't care, but go ahead.
Conspicuously silent on the first one was Ed Boon.
Oh, I won't be able to sleep tonight with that news.
The creator of the whole enterprise, who was conspicuously silent on the first one. Now he's really cheerleading it. So there you go. Yes. Oh, I can't either, Aaron. I can't either, Aaron.
I can wait forever.
Dude, that trailer is going to be glorious. It's going to be full of fatalities.
What's your
here's the other thing with this kind of related to the suit is the kaiju design just looks so goofy to me.
Oh, kaiju's.
That design. That design. It does the monster.
It's like a horny toad. It looks like a.
Exactly. The monster does not look threatening. It looks comedic.
It's a giant monster that can step on you.
You know who else is a giant
Starro looked comedic and was still threatening.
Yeah, and that was lame.
Oh, whatever. What's your thoughts on
it's like I don't buy this monster is going to eat anybody.
Out of the context of the movie and the story that the kaiju is being presented, I thought it looked fine. I thought the dog scene was kind of funny. Stupid ass dog. That's what a dumbass dog would do. Would stand there while you're trying to save it.
Is that Crypto, by the way, or is that a different?
No,
dog?
that's another Jack Russell. No. Crypto could actually fight the kaiju. Yeah. The little dog was going to get
Crypto
crushed.
could have flown away too. It was like Crypto get out of the way of this giant foot. And
yeah, and I got a giggle out of that the robot scene. I mean, a lot of people are dogging it. I mean, they're going to dog the movie no matter what. The one where the robots are explaining to Superman why they let Crypto Terry.
Oh yeah, God, those robots are That's going.
I thought that. I'm like, we feed the K9, but he's unruly. And understands that we're not flesh and blood.
We have no emotional connection. It's like that dialogue from those robots. If that's going to be like, if we're going to get 2 hours out from these robots, that's really.
Well, you're not getting 2 hours of the robots. So
if we're going to get more than like the 5 seconds we've gotten so far,
there's your fair shake, guys.
That's it. Do you want to go back to what I said? We give a fair shake on.
No, because I
had 3 movies and like
let me check my
multiple crossovers of I Am Groot, and that drove me nuts. I think that's overrated as hell, that character. And it's like
we're not talking about
that style of like tongue-in-cheek humor is being applied to Superman's robots. Is like that's going to be a real challenge.
Thank you, Larry. I just got it. It's pending. Thank you. See, Larry gets it. Larry understands. Larry does not want me eating out of the very good dumpsters of San Diego, by the way. You go to a fish joint, you're gonna get some good fish, half eaten. But Larry wants me to be able to sit down. By the way, I'm going to be doing a dinner with Robert Meyer Burnett. I'm going to actually be sitting down once he, we tried this last year, but it was so chaotic. But I am not leaving San Diego. We're going to sit down after one. I'm going to go to one of his panels and I'm going to kidnap him and we're going to go to a restaurant of his choice. We're going to eat. And
Are you going to have him on the stream?
Yeah, we're going to do it. We may do it live. But we may, I may record it depending on how it sounds and have it edited. We're going to figure that out there, but it's definitely going to be part of the show. So I'm going to be, I'm going to be hooking Robert Meyer Burnett show so I can prick his brain for a good amount of time. So yeah, Larry understands. It's not just me eating well, and and like I said, I got to find. Oh wait, those. There's pictures on my phone, but they're on my Instagram site. If I get to San Diego and I get to that little park area, and those sausages aren't there, I may have a crisis. Because those things are beyond tasty, and I know they were not good for me. Just thinking about them right now is probably taking months off of my life. But man, and I had like a bunch of them too. So yeah, I mean, you guys want I'm gonna find this picture. Let's see, July 2024. Man,
well, I'm glad you feel that way, Monkey Jeebus, but I beg to differ. So,
what's Jeebus? Jeebus is up this late?
Yeah.
What do you say?
And he's doing his little Jeebus act.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
listen, to each his own. To each his own. But I said,
I gave my straight opinion. The suit looks like crap. The kaiju looks goofy, and the robots are driving me nuts with they're with the dialogue they've had so far. Okay, sorry that offends you.
Listen, guys, hold on. And this
sausages.
I found them. Listen, guys, if you don't have to, if you're not excited about the movie, you don't have to defend it. I keep saying this. If you are excited about the movie, genuinely excited. If you're just being a shithead to fuck with people, that's different. But if you're generally like, wow, this looks awesome to me, and you have and I can have a conversation with you about that one way or another. We don't have to agree. The problem I have is the people that are, like I said, one way or another, are using this as a weapon. They are using this as a way to get at people, and I think that's pretty crappy. I mean, if you're going to the movie to enjoy to see a movie, like I said, I don't know how many people I sent. This is why I stopped interacting, is because I'm like, I can't wait to July 11th so I can show these so-and-so fans one way or another. I'm like, you're spending your hard-earned money on just to get at somebody, just to prove something. You don't, I need receipts. I'm like, what are you? So yeah, I that's why I'm ready to be past this conversation, but I am ready to have conversations with people who are legitimately excited about seeing this and about talking about Superman. I am legitimately anticipating people who are going to come into my place of business and want to talk Superman, because when you're talking in person with people, it's different. When you're doing the online thing, it's a different world. When you're talking, I can talk to people that I absolutely, completely 100% disagree with when it comes to anything pop culture. I can do it. I can talk to them. We can have a conversation, and we can walk away, and not, disagree. But when we're in person, but when we're online, man, people's balls get as big as their feet, and they start talking all this garbage. They start talking to people like they're trash. Either way, they're like, your opinion sucks, you're a piece of shit, you're just a cultist, or you're just a gun nut. You wouldn't have that kind of conversation in person. That's why I tell people, man, if you get a chance to go to a convention, I don't care if it's a small town, convention, if it's the biggest thing in your town, you should go to it. You need to go sit and commune with your fellow geek. You need to sit across from him and have a conversation and bring up these same things. Even if you brought up the same topics, the tone and the respect that you're going to have for each other is going to, you're not going to have some of the stupid shit we see on YouTube when it comes to this movie. But anyway, this is the goal, guys. Look at that. Look at that. That's a smaller one. And they cook them right there as you're walking by, and they just know, and you can smell them from like miles away. And it's like, I went there and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just have one. I'll just have one. And I had one. I had one. But this is when this is when we were waiting at Hall H. This was a Friday when me and Ray were at Hall H. So I was going back and forth and we were alternating. So I was going in the hall, she would go in the hall, so we would come back. And they got this thing positioned right at the stairs. When you're coming down the stairs to go to the park where Hall H is, to where you're set up your Woodstock camp, you cannot miss this. This is right there, right at the night. And I didn't miss it. Boy, I did not miss it. I think I may have bought all four that you see here. But that's what Larry's helping out with. That's what you geeks who are supporting us are helping out with. That's the difference. That is a huge difference than me eating an Oscar Mayer, refrigerated hot dog from like Ralph's or something like that. This is how you want me living while I am, or not living, depending on all the cholesterol, as I present to you what I think is going to be some of our best stuff. So there you go. I see some people have added the okay. Obviously, you're trying to get me to talk.
Yeah,
out
I don't think
Toxic Avenger. I don't think you're gonna get me to talk out against the creation of the people that are helping to sponsor my comic.
I'm not a box office pundit, but I feel very confident saying that's not going to be the outcome.
And Toxic Avenger was made for dirt cheap, by the way. It doesn't need to do, and plus Toxic Avenger, for what it was made. Can make a lot of people, and I have to say a good many people are going to see Toxic Avengers on streaming, on Troma Now, maybe, depending. So a lot of people, because this is just the kind of movie that you get together with a bunch of people and you just watch it over and over again. It looks like an ultra violent movie. I'm glad to see that they did not de-traumatize this movie. This movie, it's a Lionsgate produced it, but it's not a trauma movie per se, but it is in the spirit of trauma. I don't know how much Toxic Avenger is going to make, but I'm quite certain that Fantastic Four is going to do it. I don't know how you can be bored about Fantastic Four without having seen it yet. That's a good one. I'm so excited for it. I'm basically counting the hours down. LOL. I'm sure certain things will be weird, but yeah, I love it. I'm open to it. Like I said, I am. The word excitement. I'm excited to be promoting it. I'm having a lot of fun with that. Promoting it. I gotta ramp it up because we got the 4th of July weekend happening. So I got to get going as far as our Thursday, because we have a Thursday screening. For those of you who those of you who've been watching our doggy campaign. I got some more that I'm going to be adding tomorrow. Tomorrow's
this viral photo. I know it's coming. This Instagram viral photo opening weekend. Some dude eating popcorn out of that dog bowl.
It's going to be little perp. It's going to be movie perp. But by the way,
not just him. I'm like, it's not like because he's committed to it. I'm talking about like somebody like just like we've never met.
Yeah. They're going to eat it. I will give you Superman if you're on all fours eating it. That's when I'm going to have a problem with it. But yeah, I listen. I like James Gunn as a storyteller. I like James Gunn. A lot of people, all filmmakers, in my opinion, are divisive. I don't think you're any good if you're not. If everybody just gagas over you, then there are people I know that don't like some of Steven Spielberg stuff. That's fine. I think if you've done enough, if you have a good enough body of work, I think you're gonna. Certain people are gonna gravitate towards your style. And other people's aren't. The difference between James Gunn and other people, I don't think James Gunn's done evolving yet. I think James Gunn, especially because the tools that he's had in the movies that he's had at his disposal, this is going to be different. This is not him as an employee. This is him as the boss. This is not him following the direction of someone else. This is him setting the direction. So I'm going to be interested in seeing that. I enjoyed Creature Commandos for what it was. I am one of the few people, I guess, that enjoyed the Suicide Squad. I'm not the biggest fan of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I enjoyed 1, and I thought 3 was good. I enjoyed some of the stuff he did earlier in his career. I mean, some of the Troma stuff. Some of the stuff that He's done so. I think there's more to James Gunn than he's shown, and I think with this kind of environment is going to let him be. So I'm interested in seeing that. Like I said, only two questions I have about Superman is: do I want more of it, and is this a universe that I can credibly buy into? Is this something that I can spend time investing into? This is something I can get excited about. And is this something that's going to be around and consistently be around? If I can answer those questions, that's good enough to get me to Lanterns. So I'm glad you're excited about it, Larry. Like I said, if you are excited about any of these movies,
I mean, to each his own fourth. I mean, Williams Fly. Excuse me.
I don't think that. I'm going to break that mystery.
I think that's fourth. No, that kaiju guy. That I mean, just the way that the eyes and just it just looks goofy as hell to me.
I think all kaiju by definition.
Yeah, you know who doesn't look goofy is Godzilla.
Are you fucking serious?
I get serious.
Dude, are you serious?
As a heart attack.
Have you seen the current Godzilla? Dude, the historical guy, are you serious? He literally he looks ridiculous. And that's okay. It's a dude in a suit. Doing his little dance. Have some fun with it. There have been some absolutely silly, ridiculous King Kong, Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah. Here's a kaiju who doesn't look goofy.
Okay, but look at you're bringing up. You're bringing up the most recent. You bring up his whole history. The whole appeal was it was silly.
Look at this guy. If they and it's ironic because Gunn has said he actually took some influence from Godzilla -1 for which explains the presence of a kaiju at all. And I will correct. I will. Actually
by the way, he's a kaiju guy. Starro is a kaiju.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact they're actually using the term kaiju, I actually do kind of appreciate. They're not just calling it like just giant monster or something. They actually are specifically.
Yeah, well, remember in Suicide Squad, Diebeard called. He's like, they got fucking kaiju's in this shit. That was hilarious.
Yeah, but again, the kaiju that we see in that trailer, it just looks silly to me. It's like this kaiju, I'm scared to death of right here. If you're talking about like giant monster that's rampaging through the city and has atomic breath and gonna step on you, it's like make them look like that.
Okay. Hold on for a second. I just got some really good news. I'll be right back.
You got some good news?
Yeah.
The good news is we're going to be watching Ace Ventura. That's the good news that Williams got for everybody. That he's having to compose himself for before he comes back on. We're going to do the Ace Ventura watch party, guys. The timeless comedy classic. Non-stop hilarity. Come on. All right, what else you guys got? I'm going to look through the comments here while Williams waiting to come back. How's it going, RJ? Yes, doing well. Let's see. I think a lot of things in life would be solved if people weren't interested in something simply said it's not for me, moved on with their lives. And then engage in shit throwing at it or anyone. Yeah, I agree. I'd love it if people had that attitude 12 years ago. But, I agree. Tacos in downtown San Diego slap. Oh, yeah. So okay, so because I wasn't aware of this, Rotten Tomatoes is launching a new app. Because again, it's like we're not really big Rotten Tomatoes advocates on here, so I mean it's the first I've heard of it. So
okay, that good news is pending, so I'll have it resolved.
Oh, we'll know by tomorrow what time we're watching Ace Ventura on Saturday.
All right, hold on. Questions have been pending. Yeah, dude. I like I said, those. Oh man, they got to be there this year. They got to be. Dude, those things were lovely. I legit ate like 9 or 10 of the motherfuckers, dude, and they're big. They're big, and I felt myself dying inside as I ate them, and I enjoyed every fucking minute of it. It's so good. I will do this for you. Yes. I'm gonna, like I said, I am probably gonna sleep, and this is not by like design like last year. By design, I'm going to be rested up. I'm going to be ready because after Comic-Con closes, I want to be out there. I want to be. There's a lot of shit going on, and it goes on like all night. The Gaslamp District is completely papered up. They got the buildings wrapped up. all the stuff that's happening. There's people throwing parties that you get invited to. If they see your badge, so you're walking along the street, right? Just minding your own business. You got these clubs and these coffee joints and these pop-up businesses that see your badge and they start telling you just go ahead and come in. And they got music, they got dancing. Across the street from Hall H, there was like an anime concert thing that they had. We could hear them clearly. There's a lot going on in San Diego. Other than the convention, I will cover the convention, but I'm going to be, but I plan on like this stuff like this. So if you guys get me a list of places, because there's going to be just so much that I can use your guys's viewership to guide me. Let me try this real quick. Hold on, I'm trying something here.
Droga says Williams let Master Splinter.
How is that?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious at myself. Especially because he's not, other than like Ronan, he's not a big Ninja Turtles fan.
Yeah. No. I'm the comic. I'm just not the movies.
Aaron says Power Rangers TMNT double. Yes, I agree. I would be down. Because as Aaron points out, there's one comment I forgot to bring up earlier. That we just celebrated the 30th anniversary of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, which, yes, especially after the tragic death of Jason David Frank, 2022, that definitely is, more. I definitely hold that very close to my heart.
Yeah, it's that was a tough one to take.
Yeah, God, 30 years, man.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we will be discussing our Saturday show, which will be a little bit later. We'll be discussing the let's see. Hold on, I'll finish this later. I think sorry, multitasking, you guys. All right. So there was coin up. I will definitely like I said. Now, and by the way, guys, start. We have some time. Send me your suggestions. I heard you bring this one up.
Yeah, I brought that up while you stepped away.
Yeah. I 100% agree, and I agree. But both ways. You being happy and excited about not you in general, but people being happy and excited about seeing something does not need to be used as a knife to somebody's stomach. I don't need to hear what you think about a group of movies that you're not into just because you're enjoying this one. So I 100% agree. I think there's, like I said, there's two sides of that coin, and both sides are ugly. To be honest with you. So there you go. I agree. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of taco joints down in downtown San Diego. William, Brad, I assume you're both super excited.
Yeah, I brought this one up too while you stepped away.
Absolutely not.
I didn't know they were launching a new app.
Like I will say, and I will quote myself, I have as much use for Rotten Tomatoes as I do for used toilet paper. I have no use for any of these aggregates. I don't care about them. I wish they would all go away. As much as I have some critic friends that I love and respect, I wish people would educate themselves. The 3 M's are very important to me, guys. The 3 M's are very important to me. Right? When it's a movie or a TV show, it is your money. That's your hard-earned money. It is your moment. How you feel when you go through these things are all that matter. How do you feel when you're ramping yourself up to it? How do you feel while you're watching it? How do you feel that sense of euphoria when you leave the theater? That is your moment. That is exclusive to you. No group or no chat room, no aggregate can replicate that for you. And when it's all said and done, it's your memory. Years from now, months from now, weeks from now, however time it is, when you look back on that theatrical experience or that movie experience, wherever you saw it, how do you feel about it? How does it make you feel remembering it? Rotten Tomatoes shouldn't be nothing. Your buddy, your homie, unless he was with you, shouldn't be affecting that. That is a solitary thing that I think people give up too much. You give up the 3 M's just to be included in conversations. Sometimes I have no use for Rotten Tomatoes. I have very little use for others' opinions when it comes to somebody's movies. We can talk about them, but that shouldn't affect your outlet.
I talked with Aaron and William actually just the other night about that, where I saw this one tweet where somebody said something to the effect of like the Rotten Tomatoes score on Superman is it says something like it's going to be the Rotten Tomatoes score is going to be generational. I just imagine like typing that sentence straight. The Rotten Tomatoes score on this movie I'm looking forward to is going to be generational. Like imagine like being that invested in a Rotten Tomatoes.
See, to me, that's not genuine hype. Like I believe Larry when Larry says I'm hyped up. But when you're starting to have these crazy conversations and you can tell the text. You can see the syntax when somebody's not genuine. You can hear the keywords. You can hear the keywords. Sometimes they're just outright blatant. And then when somebody's genuinely excited, you can tell. So I just stick with them. I went bar hopping and hit up 3 events outside of Comic-Con. I was there Saturday when The Rock was presenting the Black Adam panel. Yeah, there's a lot. And plus Dexter, the whole thing is, I think Dexter is because the new series is coming out. So our badges actually have Dexter Resurrection on it. So that's who's sponsoring. Last year, I got a picture of this up on our site. Last year, they had a van. They had a trailer set up. And it was Dexter's Kill Room, and you could go into it, and you could see all of his instruments and stuff that he used, and that was for Dexter New Blood, which was actually no, it was for Dexter the Original Sin. That's what they were advertising. This year they're advertising Resurrection, which better be good because if I give it, man, no. But yeah, this is gonna be so much. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I missed out on that last year. Because as soon as the Saturday was over after Comic-Con, after I was near death, after I could feel my eyeballs rolling around in my head like they were on sandpaper, and I had nothing left from gas, and I was dealing with fourth stupid-ass pants obsession while I'm trying to put on a decent stream, and I'm starving to death because I haven't eaten. All I've done is put energy drinks in my body. I watched that stream the other day and I'm like, holy shit, that can never happen again. So this year, my lodging situation is going to be a lot better. I have a better plan. And like I said, I think Hall H, is not going to be as hectic. Because really when it comes to Hall H, it's a DC panel for me is what I'm going to see. There's no Marvel panel. But depending on when the Predator stuff is, I might be there. So it's going to be weird this year. Like I said, a lot of that congestion is, granted, Hall H can fill up no matter what. During the strike year, I only went to Hall H for the Star Trek presentation, and it filled up. But, I just walked right in. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Comic-Con. I'm looking forward not only for myself, but I'm looking forward to doing a better job than I did the last 2 years because we were growing each year we do it, of making you guys feel like you're there with me. That's been the goal since I started going back to Comic-Con in 2023 is to make the viewers that we do have feel like they're on the ride with me. And that's what I want to try to do. I'm going to be working on trying to do that. So like I said, last year was totally funded by viewers because we didn't even have Trauma sponsor us last year because Trauma had a smaller presence, but this year, Trauma has a bigger presence, so they got us in, or got me in, and then the rest of it is going to be viewer. Am I genuinely excited for Superman? Listen, RJ, I'm going to be 100% honest. I hope so. I don't know any given person's reasons for being excited about this. I would like to think that you're just excited to see a Superman movie, but we're not new to each other or how you feel about, certain types, certain fandoms. So I would like to believe that you just want to go see the red S in the dog in the cave. I would love to believe that, but I mean, at the same time, you're a YouTuber that wants people to watch this content. I'm not blaming. I'm not saying that's Brad, but that's just I can't tell anymore. And it's not just you, by the way. I can't tell anymore to a certain extent. Like I said, I listen for the words, I listen for the keywords. And then, and I also listen for what's not there. So I can't read your mind. I hope you are. I mean, but I've been honest 100%. I mean, I'm not head over heels for this movie, but I'm open to being blown away. I wasn't head over heels about Suicide Squad. I thought it was fucking ridiculous. I thought the concept was ridiculous, what they were doing, and I ended up enjoying that movie. I thought Peacemaker was going to be absolute garbage. I saw the trailer for Peacemaker. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are we serious about this? And then I ended up watching it. Granted, the best thing that Peacemaker did was release those first 2 episodes at once, because I wasn't giving it a third one. If I had to watch it 3 weeks, I would not have gotten into that show, and I wasn't coming back. But it got me to the point where the story started to shift. So when I try to be as honest as possible how I feel about these things, I don't see that across all the platforms. I don't. I've seen certain streams that I frequent on to where, hey, it's you can't get 5 minutes into the conversation without bringing up, Snyder Bros. We can't get half hour into your own streams without bringing up certain particular people who may feel differently about this movie. And the sad thing about it is most of these guys who they call snow cultists and extremists, I only found out about these people through a lot of the streams of people I listened to. I didn't know who these people were. So the fact that I found out about these people means they were living rent-free with a duplex and couches and refrigerators stocked with food in your head. And I'm just not there for that. I'm just not, I mean, I want to do things and do shows that make me happy. I don't want to go to war over a movie. And to the other end, and I understand, there's another side of the fandom that felt like they were screwed. Now here this thing is, and you got certain people who are trying to rub their faces into it. That's not a conversation. Now you're just being an asshole. So yeah, I can't tell anymore. And to be honest with you, I disengaged with the Superman conversation. Check my Twitter, guys. I'm not that I'm the biggest Twitter, but check my page. Check anywhere. Check this show. We talk about it when it's relevant to talk about. And I'm ready to not talk about it anymore. And it has nothing to do with the movie. It's just I don't think the discourse is where it should be for something like this. I'm ready for the movie to come out, for me to see it, me to give my commentary on it, and then head straight into Fantastic Four like my asshole is on fire. Because I want to get away from this conversation as soon as possible and then turn around and look back at it after we've had some time, after some people have seen it, after I can figure out who really enjoys the movie and who's just, going to, just going on a haterade commercial. So, yeah, I don't know, RJ. I got it muted. I got it. I don't even know what the watermelon thing is about, so somebody's gonna have to explain that to me. Oh, because Corn Sweat's Jewish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And over the whole conflict in Israel and Palestine.
Well, they're going after Jewish people for longer than that.
Yeah. Well, but this is definitely providing ammunition.
Here's the thing.
And I think I think watermelon. I think what Aaron's referring to is that's usually used that's used a lot, of course, like an emblem of the activism on kind of like the pro-Palestine side. I think that's what that is.
Whether if you have an issue with a country, no matter what country in the world is, give each individual person from that nation the respect that you'd want to give you if they disagreed with what was going on in your country. Listen, the way leadership is chosen around the world, there are individuals with those countries one way or another. And I have seen David Cornsweet do nothing but act. I haven't seen much of his acting, but I know.
I didn't even know he was Jewish until in the last like a month or so.
And to be honest with you, congratulations on being Jewish, David Cornsweet. That is.
That's not,
listen, if you're Jewish, be Jewish. If you're Muslim, be Muslim.
I mean, I kind of use like the Captain America like Hulk exchange where it's like if he was introduced as like, oh, here's my cultural background playing Superman, like you're playing Superman, it's the only part I care about.
Yeah, I mean, I am a hopeless optimistic person when it comes to race and religions and coexistence. I know we're not there yet, but be honest with you, I'm going to see David Cornsweet, because he's Superman, just like you said. I can't do anything about bigots who are going to, and that's what you are. If you have a problem with David Cornsweet because he's Jewish, I can't. That's big. If you have a political opinion about a nation, aim it at the people that are running that nation. Protest, boycott, do whatever you want to. Don't. That's a political thing. That attacking him for being Jewish, that's racist. That's just there's no place in a fandom for that. There's no place in the fandom for that. I mean, there's no place in the world, to be honest with you. But I know we're not living in a perfect world. I'm not that naive, but I know damn sure that when we're talking about aliens and flying dogs,
there ain't no place for it in a Superman movie.
For people flying, people from other planets and kaiju and stuff. Listen how silly you sound by attacking David Cornsweet for that. That's just silly for me. All right, yeah. Don't hurt my feelings. I'm not trying to.
He said that right where you were like kind of giving your like long-winded sort of like whole talk about the like whether or not somebody's being genuine in their anticipation.
I'm not long-winded. Fuck you.
No, well, you went on for. It's like no.
I gave you thorough answer. I can't give half answers this type of question.
Well, I get you and where you're coming from. There are some people out there gleefully trying. Yeah, well, and to kind of tack on to what William said. I mean, they're like again streams I frequent too, frequently with William. Where I mean, there are other people who either are or have been on there regularly. Where it's like I can't. If they're on, I'm not watching, or I'm not on the panel.
I can coexist because nothing is going to change how I feel about something other than new information. Nobody coming at me, nobody doing it. The only thing that's going to change my opinion about anything in this world is more information. And for me, more information is the movie. Right now, I'm at the cliff where I'm like, okay, if I'm wowed next Monday, then I'm going to tell you that. I'm not a good liar, so if I truly enjoy myself, you're going to see it in my review. So I'm good there. The creators of Superman, Captain America, most of the original Marvel, Stanley Lieberman, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, just almost everyone. Ironically, I don't know, there were a lot of people that were creating these things, and it was a plight back then because you're talking about, especially when you're talking about Schuster and Siegel, they knew what was going on in Europe. They had relatives. Mm-hmm. They knew what was going on in Europe. So yeah, I am I especially being a person of color, I think that Black folks, if you will allow yourself to, you can give up on that American dream. You can give up on it real easy. You would have every reason to. You don't let bigots don't let them do that. Appreciate other people's religions. Ask questions. Listen, there was I told a story on the show. I was on AT and I didn't know anything about Mormonism, Latter Day. I didn't know any of that stuff. So instead of just speculating and drawing some picture in my head about what that religion was, me and him over a nastiest MRE I've ever had, we talked about it and I picked his brain. And then other people sat around and we started talking. We actually had a religious conversation, and there were so many stupid ass stereotypes that we had grown up with. A lot of them got dispelled there. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the world to where you can just give up on this whole thing. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's an old generation that I think holds us all back, and the new generation cannot hold on to the type of hate that they've had as tightly as Generation Xers and below goes. If it's going to get better, it's going to be us. It's going to be interacting with people. It's going to be appreciating someone who is of a different faith and of a different culture. That's the only way. And that's what the Army told me. The Army taught me. You know, we were all from all over the place. Some of us were from different countries, but we all got into the same barracks with each other, and we all were at a common goal, and we got to know each other. And a lot of the stupid shit that people spread around gets dispelled when you do what? Sit down and talk with people. Man, just like I said with the whole fandom thing, we do the stupid shit on the internet. We say the stupid shit on the internet. Trust me, you take those same two people, you sit them down in a Starbucks for an hour. That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation. But online, man, we like I said, that keyboard is the shield, and it allows you to do all. And not because you're scared of the person across the table of getting socked if you say something. You just aren't going to do that. The name calling and the stuff that we do online it's different when you're sitting down. We can have a disagreement over a Frappuccino and get up and leave. I've been to conventions where I've waited in line with people who I had to, how I feel about the Death of Superman story. I sat in a convention line with a guy who loved that story. He told me why he did. I told him why I didn't. And we had guess what we did at the end of that conversation? We moved on to the next topic. So, and it's the same thing when it comes to race, religion, and cultures like that. We do this shit from afar. We never get up. We're afraid to have the conversations. We're afraid to deal with all the stuff that comes with it. Because our culture and the internet makes it to where everything is push button. If you don't want to talk to somebody, you can block them. If you don't want to hear what somebody says, you can mute them. You can't do that in person. You shouldn't want to do that in person. And when the most awful things in the world happen to people are shocked. I can't believe this. No, if you were existing in your society, you wouldn't be shocked about some of the stuff that happens. But yeah. Creators of Superman, but it's this fantasy world that we're in. There's no place for it.
I did give you a shout out on Twitter. She'd be nice to me. I just hope it's a good movie. All I care about. Well, and to kind of tack on to what because I was thinking about some of this from what William was talking about. I don't know if I should say this on the show.
Message me because I don't want to open any can of words.
I can leave names off if you know.
But you might mention a situation that won't matter if the situation is no. Come on, just text me. Let me know. Message me in the private.
All right, gotcha. Well, I'll message you because it relates to some of what William was talking about. Where I'll just leave it at it's like there have been there are people kind of like the whole he talked about segments of people who were like ostensibly. I'm not saying this is you specifically, RJ, but other people who were ostensibly excited for James Gunn's Superman, but who were also pretty, transparently using it, as a tool to rub in the face of anybody who's a fan of the previous iterations. Haha, what you like, it's dead and never coming back. I mean, there have been individuals where it's I on other shows where when they're on, it's I just can't. I have to tune out because I can't listen to hours of you just sneer at me about the thing I like is just dead and gone. And the fact that you link it up to the next version of it that's coming up.
Yeah, and there are some people out there whose behavior I find aberrant. But once again, when you're sitting down in front of an individual, it's a lot harder to cast aspersions on an entire fan base. You come away with an understanding that, hey, not all fans handle things the right way. But you should understand that, I would never. I don't want to ever gain happiness or glee or any type of anything from somebody not getting something that they wanted. Listen, there are certain things that I'm not for that I don't like, but if I wouldn't want it taken away from you, right? If they were doing if Smallville was still on the air, and WB or whatever said, you know what, we're canceling that. We're going to rip it out of your hands. I don't watch the show. I have very much regard for it anymore. But if I don't want that taken away from you, what does that get me? If your show got canceled or something you were looking for didn't happen, I don't get anything. Even if I'm not going to watch it, me not, you not getting something doesn't give me any happiness. You being treated like shit by a corporation or a channel or a network or a studio, that doesn't, because guess what? That's the same thing that can happen to me the next time around. There should be some unity when it comes to, people's, fandom, when it comes to, I really wanted to see that. If your show, I would support your show getting a 5th season if it's on the brink of getting canceled. Why? Because I would hope you do the same for me, Mindhunters. Where's the fun in that?
Well, it's one thing also, like yeah, and William's not been the biggest champion of like Batgirl, like the whole release of Batgirl, and I've always been kind of what's the best word I could use? Like I've always been kind of like more on the sideline with that. It's like the movie itself, I was always kind of indifferent to, because I'm just it just felt. It was made during like the throw shit at the wall era of like Warner Brothers mansion at DC. But one thing I will say, I'm not. Williams of the opinion the movie should have been greenlit to start with, and I'm not one of the kind of the people on the front lines of like trying to get that release. But even that aside, one thing I'd say, I will never ever mock or sneer at anybody who's putting out the release the Batgirl hashtag. I will never go out of my way to make their day unpleasant, because I had my own thing I was hashtagging and pushing for years that I faced along with so other people faced a lot of mockery and scorn for. Then I remember what that felt like. So I if you want Batgirl out of there, if you want them to there to be a situation where they return the tax write-off and the Batgirl gets released, you go to town on that. I will never ever look down on you or just go out of my way to tell you this is never happening. It's like, if you want it, go for it. And I will not tell you are a lesser DC fan or anything of that nature for it.
Perp is like the biggest champion for that.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I had said that when maybe next time on the show, I'll probably use like a platform to say that, because I've been meaning to say that, because I know he's pretty big on that.
And he knows I'm adamantly against it. But if it were to come out, I wouldn't mind it. But but here's the thing: when I talk to him about that, there has to be an understanding of the process of business, making money, losing money, risk, and everything else. And what gets me about that situation is nothing from that regime should see the light of day. Nothing from that regime should see the light of day. They made so many poor decisions that anything that they were going to do, I don't need to see, to be honest with you. And as far as Batgirl goes, I understand why they canned it. It wasn't in the direction that they wanted to go. They didn't think it was watchable amongst their audience, and that decision has been made. If people try to compare it to the Snyder Cut, no, because we had consistent movies up until that led directly into what Zack Snyder's Justice League would have been had it been released. Where were we pulling, Batgirl? I think it was a horrible decision to greenlight that movie. But guess what? Just like the Ayer cut, I don't think that, unless you're going to follow through, I don't think that should be out there. But if I wake up tomorrow to Batgirl, if I wake up tomorrow to the Ayer cut, I'm not going to be like, fuck those guys. So why are you giving those guys what they want? They're going to fill time. No, I would. Batgirl would never see the light of day if it was me. And Ayer cut. If you're going to say yes to the Ayer cut, then I need to say yes to.
And by the way, it's like expect me if Superman does very well, if it's released and it performs well, it's received well. It's like, I will make my feelings known. Okay, Gunn, you got your wins on the board. You plan on keeping your end of the bargain that you had with David Ayer. Yeah, I will make my feelings known on that.
I'm not using the rope that we were strangled with by the previous regime to strangle James Gunn. So now I'll just leave it there. All right. So let's see. I plan on seeing Ironheart. I just haven't got around to it.
It's like, there's a little bit of that with me, although I'm going into a 4-day weekend now, but also, just the characters didn't really grab me in Wakanda Forever. It's just not a. I feel like we're far enough into the MCU at this point with like how many between shows and movies there were. I think there is a I mean, this stage is not a good jumping on point for like any fresh blood as far as the audience, but I think people feel a lot more comfortable in terms of like kind of picking and choosing. Like, okay, it's like I could see this, I could sit out this, etc. And that's kind of Ironheart for me. It's like it doesn't really grab me. So I may get around to it at some point, but it's just not on my priority list.
Daniel Martin, the answer is no, by the way, but I'm going to read your question anyway. Do you think there will ever be a situation similar to release the Snyder Cut movement again? I feel that it was a 1 in a million thing. Yeah, no, I don't think. And I think because of the release of the Snyder Cut movement and how hashtags and movements and release the so-and-so cut have been kind of abused, I don't think you'll ever see, it'll be a very long time before you ever see a studio ever receptive to that in a campaign like that again. Because for every Snyder Cut campaign, there were some really stupid ones of movies that probably, like I said, the people who made the movie probably made the right decision to release the cut that they did, and not everything needs to be released. The argument and the fight you made for Zack Snyder Justice League, the movie proved that we don't need to. But there are certain things like not every director's cut is good. Some of my favorite directors have director's cuts that are absolute trash. Ridley Scott. So I don't think we're going to see that again. I think it was a once in a lifetime thing. I'm glad I was there for it. I'm glad I was part of it in any way that I was for it. And I'm glad, I'm glad it came to fruition. But as far as I think it opened up a can of worms that probably need to have the lid put back on it. That's just my opinion. Daredevil director's cut. We're doing it.
It was 05 actually, but yeah. Or 06, I think.
I really hate that.
Well, again, the joke I told was like, what is it about Ben Affleck superhero movies where there's always a superior director's cut just waiting to be released?
There's just nothing to be helped with that movie. It was bad in so many ways. Except for the soundtrack. Soundtrack was pretty good. But the movie,
I played the shit out of that soundtrack, guys.
Yeah, with Revis, Lost in the Rain, what's her face, Amy Lee from Evanescence. Now she performs with them again. Bring me back to life. That was
now she's made like ballerina, like it's not.
She did a video of that. Did you see the video with her?
I guess
her and what's her name? Halsey, I think it's Halsey.
Yeah, I was playing that song like on a loop for days after I saw Ballerina. Man.
Oh wait, Ballerina's on digital, people. Go watch it. Go make money
Loved
back.
It. My number one so far this year.
I still think Sinners is up there for me. I haven't decided yet because but Sinners was really good.
I know you wanted to watch part of that. When you think we want to do that one?
Probably like in the next week or so. To be honest with you, because I got some time, some prep time for for Superman that I have some open times with. So I really enjoyed that movie, and like I said, I really enjoyed I don't need to see a sequel of Sinners, but I do want to see more from that world. I don't need to see I need to see any of those vampires again. I don't want a prequel or remake prequel. I don't need to see that. But there are ghosts and goblins and shit that are all over that lore that I would love to see again. And I don't need it to be a sequel. I just need it to be, because remember, she mentioned all that stuff, and vampires is just one of the things that were in that metaphysical world. I really would love to.
So you want to see the spin-off, pick poor Robin clean or something?
Nah. Yeah. Whedon's Justice League. No, I saw that. I promoted that. One of the worst promotions I ever was part of.
Yeah, man.
I showed you guys pictures of that, right? With all the posters.
Imagine doing the promo for that and then like seeing the movie.
I don't have to. I did.
I
gave away almost 200 tickets for that movie.
There's being bitch slapped and then there's that.
Hey man, how this is my co-pilot for Comic-Con. This is the woman that kept me awake with her energy drink last week.
Although even Rhea, by the end of that, it's like she got. I was like, you guys, I'm telling you, go back and watch that, guys. These two both look like they just had the life drained out of them by the end of it.
When was that stream? Hold on.
That was the end of July last year.
Let me see if I can find.
Where it's like, well, you were like in the hotel room with your pants hanging behind you. We go that whole can of worms. And Rhea jumped on, and I was the only one who had a good night's sleep.
And RJ was throwing a fit because Robert Downey Jr. was. I remember that. I'm like, RJ, this is a good thing. What are you talking about, man? This is just. I'm like, I forgot what he was saying. I was so tired though. I was like, but yeah, it was. That was a crazy time. And like I said, I can't wait to get back. I can't wait to get back. I've been looking forward to getting back. Well, wow, we've had some absolutely horrible watch parties as I'm flipping through this shit. I don't know why I said yes to naming this shit. Had to be for money. I did Predator 2, Penguin. Wow, I can't believe we're this far removed from Penguin. Let's see, 9 months ago, so it'll be. So we did several. I'm starting to see the logo pop up. Crow Watch Party was good. We did that. We did that before that awful. Here we go. Here it is. Oh my goodness.
That remake was, and Ballerina got bumped back a year because initially for the Crow had that date, and then the Crow got bumped back 2 months, and then it bombed like crazy. William, there is a rumor that Tron's getting a screening at San Diego. Oh man, God, did I not shave that stream or something?
Yeah, I never want to do the cat ears again without a hat. Even
that's when I had the Scargiver subtitle. Because we were just coming off it. We were heading into the Rebel Director's Cuts.
Yeah, let's watch this crazy ass stream for a little bit.
All right, restarted it. Hopefully you can hear me.
God, just look again.
Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center Saturday Overnight Live. I am exhausted. You can kind of tell I'm in a different environment.
And look at that. There's William's pants right back there by his head.
Primarily because the bed that I was in broke. Hold on. Okay. So they moved me to a different hotel, which was nowhere near where I was because there was nowhere else to put me. So I'm in a hotel room somewhere. I forgot. I'm tired. I haven't slept all day simply because once the bed literally broke, and I got pictures of it. I've never fucking seen that before in my life. There are 150,000 somewhere abouts people here in San Diego for Comic-Con, and I promise you, I'm the only one who had that incident happen to them. So not real happy with those guys. They took care of it. They upgraded me. They moved me, took care of getting me here and everything else, but it's still a pain in the ass. My plan A was not to be at Hall H at 3 o'clock in the morning, but once the bed literally fucking fell apart, I had nowhere to sleep, so I might as well head down to Hall H, which was its own exhausting. As fun as Hall H was, I'm glad it's over because the whole process is. I'm not sure I want to do this again next year as far as Hall H goes, but
here I am doing it
was
again.
Fun. It was fun. We got good seats, as you guys can see from the pictures and stuff that I posted. Well, we were right where I wanted to be. A lot of stuff went down today.
Yeah,
how is this on a TV show?
Fuck about that.
How is this on a TV show?
Oh, that's you talking about
Superman and Lois. Yeah, just that preview they showed us. From the Superman and Lois.
Listen. What do we know? This is an opinion. I understand where he's coming from.
This is me arguing with RJ.
Since we know most of the,
and this is an hour and a half. This is supposed to be like a 2-hour show. Here's Rhea.
Like a Thanos or a King or something. So at least that's what they're hyping them up to be. So
look at this.
Right now, I'm just sort of like,
even Ray right
now.
This
changes everything. Now I need to actually.
This is like 10% of Ray's normal energy.
Is,
Well, and the fact that they are bringing Robert Downey Jr. because I can see both sides of the argument. No, I'm not talking about.
Don't have any quality. Well, because I'm a big guy, I don't like to be stepping over a bunch of midgets to get to the bathroom. So I'm on the aisle. We were like close to the, we were close enough.
This is me with like a half-grown beard.
Right behind us. I can see everything until people stood up because Hall H is all flat. So if somebody stands, one person in the chat, they get you.
Aaron gets it. Yes. Oh, we're talking about Life After Fighting. Awesome. You really settled on like when Life After Fighting.
That's it.
Up.
This has been an
this. Hold on. This is where I just had enough of you fucking people.
It's
that
actually
was
probably
great.
not too long before we did the live.
All right,
after
guys,
my
that's
watch
it.
party.
Like I said, obviously we usually do a larger
Yeah,
show.
yeah. You can tell you were like in your
Saturdays,
shower
but,
or something
I
in
am
the hotel room.
spent, and like I said, I now have a bed that is not broken that I can sleep in, so I can do something that I haven't done going on 39 hours, which is sleep after I eat. So any questions you guys have, what I'll do is if you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comment section, and I'll remind myself to pull up the last show's comment section for the new show, so that we can get them. So yeah, start using that comment section a little bit more, because not everybody's on the live chat, especially for those of you. The majority of you watch this show after the facts. When you're doing that, just leave a comment in the section, and we'll do our best to answer it, especially me. So. All right, that's it. This has been an abbreviated show. It still lasted about an hour and a half, which is more than I had in me.
That's for damn sure.
I will see you guys throughout the day tomorrow. While I'm still there, I will be still taking pictures. I will still be uploading.
Yeah,
I hope to have at least 2.
So we're gonna avoid that this year. We are not looking to repeat that madness, because that was physically fucked. I got sick too after that. I came down with something. You can kind of hear my sign. I thought it was sinuses, but I ended up. It was energy drink. Yeah, energy drink. Yeah, she waited a lot of lines for you. Okay, yeah, I'll find out. Well, we'll know because
yeah, well, if it's showing there, then it's showing there.
They'll put out. They may put out a schedule for that, but I'll find out. When does Tron get released? Because that's another thing.
I think that's out in November, December.
See, I don't know. See, I just don't know if they're gonna do some of these screenings. If they're gonna do some of these screenings that far ahead, while they're still doing, while they're still doing pre-production or post-production on it. So I don't know. But if we'll be there, let's see. Hey, compared to where the fuck I was, that was a penthouse deep. They paid for my food. They gave me a food voucher. They gave me liquor. They gave me the code to the, because when you go to these high-end ones, there's a code you punch in, or your card. I'm sorry, your card opens up the little liquor thing, right? I don't drink liquor. There was some Canada Dry in there, and there was a Mountain Dew in there, and I took those. There was like bottles of shit, dude. It looked like, I don't know enough about liquor, but it looked like it was expensive liquor. And I'm like, I don't drink, but they said not have it. I think they were afraid I was going to sue them once I sent them the pictures of the bed, because that was fucked up, man. That could have really ended bad, not only for myself, but for the person, because I was in a hostel. Because once you get to Comic-Con, the hotels, they want to charge you $1,000 a minute, and I knew this particular place, would have room, and I wasn't going to be there that long. I mean, just the same thing this year. I'm not going to be with what I plan doing. I'm going to shower. I'm not even going to eat there. I'm going to be eating. Everything I'm doing is going to be in downtown San Diego. And the only thing, if I could sleep somewhere without the cops messing with me and just stay downtown, I would do it. But so, yeah, I'm going to, so yeah, I was only there to sleep. But yeah, I went and got my food. The bed had like massage things and heating things on it. I'm like, oh man. And I crashed, man. I didn't even get up early. I don't think I made it to Comic-Con that Sunday till like 10 or 11. And that was just to wrap it up, get the last couple of autographs I wanted to get. Say hi and goodbye to some of the people, because every year I go to this thing, I meet new people. So you knocked this shit off, dude. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm skipping all the pans. Emojis. Rhea's timber. So yeah, Rhea has a lot of energy. And while I was on that midst of that 39 hours of sleeplessness, I'm in the line. We're sitting in the little park thing across the street from Hall H. Rhea curls up in the little ball on the grass and just goes to sleep. And I'm sitting on this hard ass concrete thing, because if I go to sleep, I'm not getting up. So I had to keep myself awake, and I was awake that whole time. And Rhea just curled up, like you see those little kitties that curl up in the little ball. That was Rhea, and she was out, man. I'm like, what the hell, man? That was hilarious. Oh my god, what the fuck are we doing here? William Bed, that's not me. I was sent in the shop for repairs. I'm covered and I'm good now. But ain't no way in hell I'm gonna let William near me. Yeah, you know what? Great. All right.
Yeah, you might say that William is the bane of his bed's existence.
Whatever. All right, that's it. Don't know what kind of show we're doing tomorrow. Who knows? Yes. I know we will be doing a show. We actually will be doing probably one of our doesn't. I'm going to update you because there's a situation pending, and we may have to suffer through this fucking god awful movie. But like I said,
who was the donor, man?
I will make that announcement tomorrow once it comes through, because right now the thing is pending. So right now the reality is nothing's going down.
Who was the donor? I need to know who the donor was.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it. That's been a 2-hour stream on a Thursday. So I gotta eat. I gotta do stuff. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta take some Benadryl now because this thunderstorms fucked me up today. All right. That's it. We will see you tomorrow night in some capacity. Have a good evening. Oh, like, subscribe, share, donate, because even though we may have made our goal, listen, you saw those. We
could be watching Spencer win your calls too.
You saw those sausages, right? Those ain't cheap, and I need many of them. All right. See you tomorrow.
See you guys.